Hi guys, welcome to challenge number 4 in the Hello Clarice G challenge. So for this one, after quickly examining my swatching sheet of colors, I've decided I am going to be using sepia and umber green and emerald green as my 4 colors, and we are going to be tackling leaves today. So I'm just going to put that aside and keep the colors aside. I have my 2 bowls of water ready. I have my palette ready, and then I also have my brushes ready. We're going to be using the number 4 and the number 8 silver black velvet. If you don't have number 8 silver black velvet, please feel free to use the Princeton or any other regular round 8s. And we are ready to begin. I'm going to start by mixing off my colors, and I'm just going to explain the process to you. So I'm just going to mix some of my colors on here on the palette. I think the first thing I want to do is start off with the more muted tones, which is the umber and the sepia. So I'm just going to mix some of that on here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of layering. And by layering, I mean we're going to have this consistency to be a lot lighter, and this is going to be our first set of sprays of leaves, I guess you could call it, or stems of leaves. And mind you, I should probably clean that. Didn't fully clean that before getting some of the umber. Here we go, a little better. So I want the muted colors to be a lot more see-through and less opaque, and then we're going to go in with the other colors and add some of that as well. Now they look to be very brown, so what I'm going to do is mixing a little bit of that green in with the umber, just to get this kind of like military olivey kind of green. And I think I've mentioned this before, if time is of the essence for you guys and you find your sheets of Canson watercolor paper, which is what I'm using, not 100% cotton, just the regular kind, if you find it's drying up too quickly and you can't move enough or fast enough, then just consider using 2 brushes at the same time. So for instance, in this case, I would use one brush for the umber and then the other brush for the sepia, and that's how we would kind of, you know, avail of getting around the whole fact that things are drying off quicker. So I have these mixed up here. I am ready to begin. I'm going to put this aside, move this over so you can see this better, and we're going to begin. So the whole how we're going to do this painting is we're going to have leaves coming from outward, out of the page into the page, from out in. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm getting some of the umber, since I have that on my brush already, and I am going to do a leaf coming from this way, or a stem coming from this way all the way inside. I'm using just the tip of my brush, and then once I have this guidance almost for it, I'm going to start creating leaves. And I'm just going to, using the tip, I'm going to press down, drag, and trail off. And then just push the color. I'm going to get some more color. I'm going to add another leaf over here, giving it a little bit of a curve, pressing down, trailing off. And again, moving all the color down to the bottom. Now I'm going to get a little bit of that sepia. Do the exact same thing, but on this side. And then pushing down all the color to the bottom. Getting a little bit of water. And then I'm going to kind of continue creating this little pattern, and then pushing all the color down to the bottom again, getting some more of the green, and you get the idea. So we're pretty much like repeating this throughout. Notice that this time I kind of created this leaf from the outside in as opposed to from inside out. You can also do that. That is a thing. So again, it's a very repetitive motion. Give your leaves some flowing movement if you can. Make sure you're pressing down the belly of your brush. to get that good enough consistency and coverage of color on your paper. Notice that this leaf, I kind of touched it with this one because I deliberately did that so that I can get some nice mixture of colors happening. Now at this point, if you find yourself running out of color, please feel free to take some color directly from your little color cake, add a little bit extra to the centers if it's still dry, and then kind of continue and create a couple more leaves if you want, or you can abandon this and go off to another area and start creating this all over again. So it's a very repetitive motion, and you can see the consistency of the water to color ratio. It's supposed to be light, it's supposed to be dreamy looking, and you're just kind of repeating the same motion over and over again till you get this nice pretty pattern. All right, so let's do the same thing over on this end here. And so for this one, I'm going to make it over on this side using just the tip of your brush. Sometimes this can be hard. And I'm starting this leaf right here and then trailing off, and then just move all the color down to the bottom. Just like I was saying, if you want to give your leaf a little bit better shape, absolutely kind of cheat a little and get that shape in. I just dipped a little bit in the umber to get some of that color going and create my next leaf. Clearly I don't have enough umber in there, that's okay. I'm just going to get some more, mix it on here. There's a lot of sepia on the brush already, so this is probably why it's not giving me that nice green. That's okay. As we kind of continue creating these leaves, it will eventually die down and give us just the green. Now, the whole point of this is to also get used to the fact that you can kind of mix and match these colors as you're painting, and you can get these two-tone colors and really, like, it enhances your painting to like the next level. So I'm going to create another shape or another stroke here to complete this leaf, just because the first stroke didn't quite look as great as I thought it would turn out rather. Let's do another one here. And also notice how like some are dark, some are light, and that all depends on how often you like dip the tip of your brush in water and how often you get some of the color directly from your palette. So these are all factors to kind of make note of as you are doing this, so that you can realize what effects you like, and if you like a certain kind of consistency, how you can get that kind of consistency. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to do one directly to the side here. I thought it would be a darker color, which is why I did that there, but it wasn't dark enough. That's okay. Let's do one over here. And then just adding some darker hues just to the center. Maybe some over here too. And this one we're almost done. I think we could even just like end it here if anything. So these ones are slightly lighter in hues. And I'm just kind of ending that off like it's trailing off the sheet. All right, so we've got two of those looking like that. And I think just for the sake, I don't want to make this video too long. So now we'll go on to, actually no, let's do a third one. A little bit undecided there, sorry. I'm going to mix a little bit more of the umber. And I am going to add another leafy stroke happening over on this end. And let's start this off right here. Getting some water. I'm going to kind of really press down and complete this leaf, pushing back all the color there. Getting a little bit of like that sepia tone over here. I'm going to add a leaf right on this end at the top. And then push all the color back down. And then we'll do one over here. And if you can get different sizing of the leaves or different sizes for the leaves, then power to you. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna do one leaf like right here. Just trying to get it to be more sepia to get that nice blend happening in there, and didn't quite happen. Let's try that again over here. So I just took a little bit of sepia on the tip of my brush, and I'm just painting that in. But because I'm pressing the belly down, because I'm pressing the belly of the brush down, it's kind of not working for me as well. But then that's okay. Just take a little bit of the color on your brush and just kind of wave it in. And there you go. So this is supposed to be soothing and calming, and just getting you guys used to using and swishing the color around. Getting some of the umber now. And I'm going to give this leaf a little bit of flair by like twirling it on this side. Giving it some movement. Then I will get a little bit of water and create another leaf happening right here. Maybe even touch that one, get some of that color seeping in. And then finally, let's do a leaf right here too. I'll try and make it smaller maybe, just like that. And push all the color down. All right, and you know what? Let us do one more leaf over here on this end. And then I'm just fixing the stem a little bit to make sure that the color doesn't look like it's only abruptly starting there. So I'm kind of swishing that color down. There we go. So we've got our 3 little areas of leaves, and now we'll allow this to dry and then go back in and add another layer, and that will be with the other 2 colors. All right, so I have washed off my palette and we are ready to start mixing the other colors. So I'm going to use the number 4 this time and mix in some of the green and then the emerald. So getting some water, clean water, mixing some of the green on here, and then getting some water and rubbing that green off to the side in case I need any more later on, which I'm sure I will. Then getting some water and mixing some of the emerald and putting that right here. Getting lots, trying to use the emerald a lot more because I always gravitate to using just the plain green, and then I have like this massive hole in the green. All right, so using number 4, we're gonna get some of the green. Well, I already have some emerald on it, but because we're blending things, it's fine. We're gonna get some green and start doing these leaves, and some of them can be overlapping on the leaves that we already have, so feel free to not avoid what we've done already. Okay, so here's what we do. Getting some of the green. Let's have one leaf happening. Trying to see how best to kind of place things. Placement is also important. So let's do a leaf, I guess, happening directly through it this way. And this one is not touching. Well, I would have liked it to go at the edge somewhere, but it's okay if you are not wanting it to go all the way to the edge. So all right, so we've got a stem, not a leaf, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did with those leaves, but with this one the leaves are going to be a lot thinner. So there you go, and brighter. So like feel free to get some color directly from the palette itself. Go in, add your cute little leaves. Alternate between using the emerald and the green to get this kind of effect, and keep at it. If you get the blending happening of the two colors, that's a very, very pretty effect. Embrace it, just like we did with the other colors so far. We were trying to get a blend of both the colors. It's the same concept here. Try and get the same kind of thickness for the leaves, and just move on down in a very repetitive fashion. Okay, so I am like mixing up some of the colors. If you want some of the leaves to kind of touch to get like a nice blending effect, you can totally do that as well. Try and get some of the darker hues at the very bottom of the leaves. Let's do one touching this one here, for instance. But the colors are clearly very close in shade. So I'm getting one of the darker leaves here. And that's what really makes a painting, when you have these different variations of color, and also the transparency effect. Like some are a lot more opaque, some aren't. Then the shapes, sizing, when you have a different variety of all of this happening in a painting, it really makes for an interesting end result. So keep these things in mind and continue creating these in an overlapping fashion for this challenge. So I'm going to do one more of this, and then the third one I'm going to make it a time lapse, just because I feel like you guys probably have the hang of what I'm trying to do, and I want to make sure that I'm not taking up too much time doing this when it's pretty self-explanatory what needs to be done. So I'm going to do one over here on this end. So making sure that I'm using the tip of my brush, I'm kind of going all the way across. I'll try and go to the edge. Yep, there we go. Then dipping the tip of my brush in water, because I know this is very opaque in color. I'm just going to press down and do my first leaf, pushing all the color back down. I'm going to get some color from the side of my palette and just continue on in this fashion and create more leaves. So I'm getting another one over here on this end, pressing down on the belly of my brush and then pushing down all the color, or just swishing it in that area for now. Then getting a little more color of the emerald directly from the palette. I'm going to create another. Notice how this brush was not quite damp and you're getting a little bit of dry brushing on the side here, and I kind of like that effect. It gives nice texture, so I'm going to leave that in. This was a little bit too thick, but that's okay. This is a very loose style of painting, and we want to be able to have nice variety in our end result. So I'm going to allow that. There's another one. Find me some more variation in color. I'm going to actually just do some sporadic ones in this color instead of kind of going back and forth and mixing them up. And then this way I can go back in without wasting time. Pushing that down. Okay, perfect. Now I can get some of the emerald and create some of the rest of these leaves. Feel free to create some leaves like directly touching the next one to get that nice blending effect. I'm gonna create one over here. Didn't quite touch as much as I thought it would. It's because I started and then completely lost direction. You can have some overlapping this way as well. So like this one's overlapping on this leaf. And the whole point of this exercise, besides using your brush and getting used to your brushes, is also the fact that we are now layering. So you can actually see, I messed that up a little bit there. You can actually see the other leaves at the bottom. It's like a see-through effect, and it's quite pretty. It's another great effect for watercolor. Now my strokes on this side are getting to be a lot thicker, and that's mainly because of how I am painting for the sake of this video, because I'm trying to record this at the same time without moving my whole book. So again, if you have some of that happening where it's kind of together, that's okay. Just adding another one here over that one. And yeah, these can be quite relaxing to do and a lot of fun as well. So I hope you guys are liking this. And we're almost done this one. I think I'll leave this one as is. I won't do any more. And now for the third one, I'm gonna do it around at the top most likely. And I'll just make that a time lapse, and then I'll finish this video off. All right, so we've done 3 on 3, and this is what it looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to kind of get that nice overlapping effect if you just kind of have some good lights in the background and then some darker hues on the top. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought. If you're new to watching this, I just want to quickly let you guys know that I do have a YouTube channel full of watercolor videos, so feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out some of the other videos, guys. And let me know in the group, post your work in the group, in the Hello Clarice G challenge group, and let me know what you thought about this. And I will catch you guys on there. Thanks, guys.